The business, motherfucker.
Welcome to another episode of Bringing the Business. BC.
This Nick right here.
What's going on, man?
Man, just trying to navigate through all this nonsense that's been going on in media and all that shit, man. Sports shit, bro. Like something happening every fucking day, it seems like.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's a lot going on. Every time you turn the TV on, it's something going on.
Every day.
Like, before we go into the show, before we kick off our topics for the day, I want to send a shout out to Big Old Designs, man. I'm kind of bogus. I should have been sent a shout out because for a few reasons. First of all, Big Old Designs, the CEO of the company, Uvi, he was very instrumental in, pushing me to, to my vision of doing the podcast and the whole, reaching out with the whole Bringing the Business brand. So, and also with his printing company, he printed my sign, any Bringing the Business paraphernalia, shirts and stuff you see me wear. He printed that stuff out. Well, you see us wear. He printed that stuff out for us, and also he was instrumental with helping me design the logo.
Okay.
So man, shout out to Big Old Designs. If y'all ever need any anything printed from clothes to posters and banners and stuff like that, man, check out Big Old Designs, man. And he had Facebook, Instagram, and everything like that. You can find him. So
I try to put his information, at the end of the podcast. I try to put all his information on it, so that way you can look it up. Like you say, anything you need, he'll knock it out for you. So it'll make it easy for you to put the information at the end of the podcast for you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know, man. I might want to turn my Bama hat sideways a little bit,
Nah,
man.
you can't
You
do
know,
that.
I
Can't
roll
do that.
tide, man. But
do
we got to
that.
touch on Nick Saban, man.
Yeah.
Nick was kind of bogus for throwing the other programs under the bus.
Right.
So if everybody don't know, we kind of came out and accused Texas A&M
Texas A&M.
first of
Jackson State.
basically paying players to come there. And he also did Jackson State. He actually came out and said that Jackson State had given a player like $1 million to come there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's kind of funny to me because we actually looked at Jackson State budget.
Right.
And I don't even think they have a whole $1 million for the. I think the whole program is only about $2 million or something like that.
Right. So what Saban is talking about pretty much is with the whole new NIL
Right.
stuff, you can pretty much say, if you come here, I can get you an endorsement with such and such company, and it's gonna net you $1 million or $500,000, and you're gonna get that basically if you come to our school. You come to our school, I can get you this endorsement, and that's how they get these players. So that's what he pretty much saying, he was trying to say with these different programs, with the new rule, which was not new. It's really, they've been talking about how they need to find a way to regulate it a little bit more, because now you got players who would transfer to a different school with the transfer portal, and for the most part, they saying that these kids are being offered these endorsements, so that's why they transfer into these different schools and stuff. So, I mean, it's a touchy subject, and who's to say that that's not happening? We don't know if that's happening with those particular programs that he brought up, but I mean, it is something that probably needs to be regulated a little bit more than what it is, because these kids are kind of cashing in with these endorsements.
But it's funny that the school that you picked to say something about, Texas A&M, ended up with the top recruiting class over you.
Right.
So all these years that you've been having the top recruiting class, you don't have anything to say about anything that's going on. But soon, and you still number 2.
Right.
So it's not like, you getting bulldozed by these schools or whatever like that. You still number 2 in recruiting.
Right.
But it's funny that as soon as you're not at the top, and you choose to go at that school that is beating you out, man. I didn't like that. And I'm gonna tell you this. I hope Nick ain't got nothing in his closet.
Oh, he got something.
Cause all these former players and you know what I'm saying, everybody coming out and speaking out against him. So you know now they gonna start digging in his closet.
Oh yeah.
So I don't man, that wasn't smart to do.
It was smart. I don't know, you know, if it's a brain fart on his end, for sitting up there having an interview and saying the stuff that he said, or he was just super salty with, you know, the situation. But like you said, how can you be salty when it's not like you went from 1 to like 30th or something? You know, you still at number 2. But I guess like maybe some of the players that he may have wanted
end up going to
going to these
but
other
then,
programs.
Then I was surprised that he went at Deion because like him and Deion supposed to been cool. Remember they doing the commercials together?
Yeah.
I've heard Nick speak highly of Deion and vice versa.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So for him to go at Deion like that, I was really shocked.
I mean, like I said, maybe on his part, he probably just salty, you know, of the situation and just, you know, just speaking. And you know, I guess he came out today apologizing for, you know, even saying it and dropping names, particular names of schools, you know, regarding that situation. But I think, you know, and I'm a Bama fan, so maybe I may try to speak up for him a little bit. But I think, in essence, what he was really trying to speak on was just that it needs more regulation. You know what I'm saying?
But you can't name call.
You can't name call.
When even if you feel that it needs more regulation and it needs to be touched up, you can't call out these other schools.
That's true. That's
what you can't do. You can address it without calling out these schools.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Nick, that wasn't cool at all, man. You know, and he talked about Deion getting that top recruit and saying he gave him $1 million and everything like that. Nick, like I say, man, I really hope, you know what I'm saying, you don't have nothing in your closet, because then they find bogus stuff. Now they want to get to trying to strip championships and Heisman trophies and stuff like that, man. So, well, I don't know. Do they strip? Yeah, they strip championships, right? Didn't they do USC like that?
Mm-hmm.
And put them on probation. I know they put Reggie Bush as Heisman.
Yeah.
And I've seen them do Heisman's. You know what I'm saying? Because then Cam Newton, did they take his Heisman? I think they took Cam Newton's Heisman.
Maybe right.
Auburn.
Maybe right about that.
So, but yeah, man. So I really hope, man, especially as a Bama fan and everything like that, I hope St. Nick, as they call him, ain't got no skeletons in his closet.
He been in the league. He been doing this for so long, man. It ain't no way he's squeaky clean, which is why you gotta kind of watch what you're saying, man. I mean,
you gotta shut up, and you still got a powerhouse. So even though you lose some of them recruits, you still getting what you getting.
Yeah, you still get people want to transfer in. You still getting top recruits, you know, coming out of the high school. So it's like, I don't know. I don't, like I said, I don't know what made him decide to, you know, go that route. I do understand they was talking earlier, even before he had that interview, they was talking about the regulations or whatever, NIL, you know. But, and I know that's probably why, I didn't actually watch the interview, I just read up on it, but I'm guessing that's why the subject even came up, because they talking about the regulations of it. But I mean, it's
But you don't think like a Bryce Young has a chance for a $1 million contract?
He actually does.
You know what I'm saying? Like some
does.
of the big names that he had that you know what I'm saying, that Nick Saban has over there.
Yeah.
Don't you think them being at Bama, them being always in the spotlight, them being especially if they continue to win, or you know what I'm saying, continue to win, they got a good chance of his players getting these type of endorsements, and that being a selling point when he goes sit in your living room.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? To tell you, like, I can get you these type of deals.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, I don't see nothing wrong with that, because now the athletes are able to kind of cash in on their image and their likeness. So it's like, hey, you come to Bama, you know, you're gonna become a household name, you know, nationally, you know, this stuff can get you, you know, endorsement for Chick-fil-A, or, you know what I'm saying, Chipotle, whatever, you know, local things that's going on, or even national things that's going on. So yeah, that's a selling point. And you'll be a fool as a coach not to use that as a selling point.
And as a student, you'll be a fool not to, like if you got Alabama and you got LSU or Texas A&M or something like that, and Texas A&M can get you $1 million but Bama can get you 250,000. I'm going to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? If I'm that good of a player, I get it that the machine that Bama is as far as winning and as far as pumping people into the league.
Right.
But for the time being, this $1 million can change my life.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
mean,
you know what I'm saying?
that's a huge selling point to these kids, you know, especially coming from an era where we came from, where it was super illegal to get any type of money. They just considered you getting education was all you needed.
Right.
When you coming from the dirt, you know what I'm saying? They like, well, we give you a free education. Man, I'm still poor though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I still got to eat. You know, I still got to do. So yeah, I mean, it's a huge selling point. Somebody coming from the hood, and
I
then
got to get mama out the ghetto.
Man, you know what I'm saying? So if you come to me and say, look, you come here, I got such and such endorsements lined up where as soon as you sign with us, I can give you $600,000 endorsement. And then you talk to another coach, they like, well, yeah, we probably can do about 100, 50,000. You like, well, I'm still, either way it go, I'm going to a powerhouse anyway. I'm going to a Power 5 school. Man, I'm gonna go here. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it per se, because it's like that's the cost of doing business now, especially as these student athletes.
And Nick, you on these commercials and stuff.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You eating off this.
Exactly.
So you know what I'm saying?
saying?
Yeah, man. I say Nick my guy, man, but I totally disagree with him on this one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, like, I want to segue into the NFL for a minute, man. Okay, so we have been talking a lot amongst our each other about the NFL and Colin Kaepernick situation. Recently AB came out and spoke against Colin Kaepernick, and somebody else did that too.
Pac-Man Jones.
Pac-Man Jones.
Pac-Man Jones. Yeah.
So so we were just talking about, in particular, what do you think it will take? Because the whole Kaepernick, we'd be talking about that all day long, and it's kind of controversial or whatever like that. But what do you think it will take for the NFL to get its act together?
I mean, that's tough because there's so many people that watch the game, and the players who play the game, they get so much money. So it's like us as consumers of the game and fans of the game, if you asking everybody to not watch the game, that's going to be hard. You know what I'm saying? Because you got diehard NFL fans. You got, NFL fans of all races. So it's like, okay, you say do a ban as a consumer or a fan of the game, and let's just keep it real. You got some people who watch NFL and don't like black people, or some people who don't like Hispanics. They don't care about the Black Lives Matter movement, or the racial equality, or police brutality in the different neighborhoods. They like, man, whatever. They ain't got nothing to do with us. I'm watching the game. If the NFL don't want to do nothing about it, I don't care. As long as they put out a good product, we're gonna watch the game. So you're gonna be hard pressed to make that situation as something where you count on like the fans to do something. It's gonna be super difficult. You know what I'm saying? If you talking about hitting them where it hurt, you're not gonna be a fan then.
You gotta be the players. Because think about this too. The NFL is so big of a machine, so that means you have to stop watching all. Because I know a lot of people, when they were boycotting, I ain't watching the game on Sunday, but I'm gonna watch Monday morning quarterback. I'm gonna watch this. Well, don't you know the NFL benefits off that stuff?
Everything.
Or they'll go to. I ain't watching it on Sundays, but when Chicago go take over somewhere, I'm gonna go. That's the only game I'm gonna go to.
Yeah.
That's still supporting the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like you said, it's hard. My solution is, I was telling you, and like you have to hit them in their pockets, hit them where it hurts.
Okay.
That's the only thing that they're gonna respect.
Right.
So all of this, the fans got to do this. No. It's on the players, bro. It's on the players. Yeah. What needs to happen is this. Think about how hard this will hit them. Sunday. So all week long you go through practice, right? Say the players like an Underground Railroad type of situation.
Okay. They
all get together and say, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in cahoots with this.
Okay.
So everybody goes through practice all week long. Come Sunday morning, you go through your regular warm-ups, everything that you're doing. You come out there when it's time, so you get there, the fans in the stadium,
packed.
everything. Stadium packed, the
Yeah.
TV cameras out there and everything, right?
Right.
And them players get out there, and right when the game finna tip off, I ain't playing. And everybody, like across the NFL,
Right.
all these black players or these whatever players walk in that locker room. Now think about it. All these fans in this stadium, they paid their money.
Right.
So now they ready to sue the NFL.
Right. 'Cause they want their money.
They want their money.
Right.
All of the cameras. Think about everybody sitting on their couch with their bills that they the Bears party that they got all the people. They invite everybody over here. They got chips and dips and all that.
Right.
They sitting there. What? They not playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Think about how much money the NFL will lose.
I mean,
That's drastic. I know that sounds crazy and drastic, but you have to do something drastic in order for it to work.
so in theory, what you're saying will absolutely work. In reality, it's not gonna happen. Dude, here's the thing. So you got top level players who's making, like, let's say for instance, like a Patty Mahomes. Patty Mahomes making how much money he making? What's his contract?
What the quarterbacks now? What 30, 40 a year?
Yeah, so it's like
So,
200
no,
something
you're right, he
thousand.
got that
200 something
contract. He about
thousand.
50
So
a
it'd be
year or something, right?
Yeah, so he making 200 something million, for the life of his contract. So he getting paid money.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he getting endorsements.
Right.
But what about that player, that 57 player who just made the team? Right?
Contract ain't guaranteed.
Contract ain't guaranteed. He getting paid every game. No endorsements. You telling this man who probably got a family just like everybody else, but he ain't no top level player.
Only way it works is if Patty Mahomes walk out too.
Yeah, but Patty Mahomes can walk out, but that mob who making
Right,
200,000
but-
ain't walking out.
But what I'm saying is, the other ones have to walk out. They have to walk out with them. Like, yeah. The young ones can't walk out by themselves because they are expendable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it only works if them top guys are involved with it.
Okay.
And see, that's why I always tell people I don't agree with the superstars and everything like that taking pay cuts. And I'm gonna tell you why. You know, like the NBA in particular, they go to the collective bargaining table, right?
Right.
And they push for the max to be this certain ticket.
Right.
Right? So when the max goes up for them, it also goes up for the low level.
For the low level, yeah.
So now the vet minimum goes up from 1 million to I'm just saying I'm talking.
Yeah.
So the vet minimum goes up from 1 million to 3.
Right.
So if you at the top and you keep taking these cuts, now they like, well, they don't need that money all the way up here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that affects them low ball.
Yeah.
Them low players. So the guys, the superstars and the guys at the top, they have to be in cahoots to support the lower people on the totem pole.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like it won't work if only the lower people walk out. The stars have to walk out too.
So the thing is this is how it'll work. Like you said, all of the superstar players will have to come together.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, like a Patty Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, you know, all these top level players will have to come together and say, look, this is what we're gonna do. Because you got
Well, look, hold on, I want to stop you real quick.
Oh no.
Do you need the Aaron Rodgers and the Tom Brady?
You need top players.
The reason I say that though, but the league is what, 70% black or something?
That's true.
So even if Aaron Rodgers said, I ain't going, all right, good luck with filling the league up with 70% more white people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be great if they come on board, but if they don't, the league is like it's close to about 70% or something, right? It's something like that.
So tell the story what you told me. It's how it works. Remember the story you told me?
What I told you about the job?
Yes.
So a good friend of mine was working on a construction site, and he said the construction site was full of Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? You know, a few whites and blacks sprinkled in, but it was predominantly Mexican. And the white supervisor or whatever was kind of riding this particular guy. He was a Mexican guy. He was riding, kept riding. So it got to a point where he rode him so much or whatever. My buddy said the Mexican guy whistled or did something, man, and did like this, and every Mexican on that job walked off. and it fucked up the whole job site. So now it pushed the job behind. Now you got to find other workers to do this. Now you got to do that. It takes something drastic like that.
Yeah.
That's the only. You have to hit people in their pockets, bro.
So so if you say like, so the league is pretty much predominantly black, or black and other minorities within the NFL. If you get all of the minority players, regardless if they star players or not, you get all the minority players to say, look, on this particular day, we not playing.
Right.
Now, you got to get a good voice to make this happen. But if you was to get all the minority players, not just blacks, but every minority player that play in that league, to do that for even one Sunday, it'll absolutely work.
Look how much money they're gonna lose.
Yeah, they'll lose.
And that's what they don't like. They don't like to lose money.
Yeah.
So if you do that, that will lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna put the spotlight on them, period. Because think about it, that's gonna be on CNN. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like that's gonna be major.
It'll be all over the place. But the thing is, I mean, it's sad to say this, though, B, and you know it's true as well as us. We don't stick with each other like that.
Yeah.
We all about ourselves, man. And if it's gonna be that one person, the group of people, I ain't gonna say one person, because one person don't mean nothing. But out of that 70%, if it's 70% black or 70%, 80% minority that's in the league, it's gonna be half of that to be like, man, I ain't doing that shit. You ain't fucking with me. I ain't got nothing to do with me.
So NFL players and people don't ask me to boycott if y'all not willing to do what y'all need to do.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna watch on Sundays and whatever like that until y'all ready to do whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's just the bottom line. Y'all have to do it. Y'all gotta do it.
That's the only way it's gonna make a difference.
Yeah, that's the only way. That's the only way it's gonna help.
That's the only way it's gonna make a difference. If y'all boycott and y'all walk off, and we know the reasoning behind it, and we gonna support it. Obviously, we gonna support it, but because it's a good reason behind why you would do it, especially with everything that's going on. But if you're not willing to do it, I'm watching the game on Sunday.
Because y'all the ones that be affected. Because think about it. One thing I learned about people, man. If you know what I'm saying, if you doing something, say me and you hang together every day,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm watching you do something to somebody, right? Do something wrong to people,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, whoa, and I'm sitting back, big teething and laughing, whoa.
Right.
My turn coming. Like if you just rotten and just bogus, you gonna do me like that.
Yeah.
You gonna turn on me, or you gonna. So if you're not willing to step up and ride with your brother, I'm just throw Kaepernick out there, whatever like that. Your turn coming. Soon as you get in the jam, they gonna do you the same way.
The same way, absolutely. They're gonna do you the same way. I mean, it just slightly touch on the Kaepernick situation. I don't agree with a lot of stuff that Antonio Brown and Pac-Man Jones are saying. I mean, he took the money, so since he took the money, you know what I'm saying, he shouldn't get back in the league. I don't think so. I think when you backed up in a corner and at that point in your head, you have no way of getting back in the league anyway, and you've been wronged, why not take money for being wronged? You know what I'm saying? Why not take compensation?
And I agree, but you got to know that it's over with then.
I mean, not necessarily.
Because if you, and I know we talked about this in different ways, but like if you sue me and you get my money, I'm not hiring you no more.
Well, but
unless you still hire. If you're still there and you sue me, then I have to keep you there. But if you're not there anymore and you sue me, I'm not hiring you back.
I mean, I feel you as an owner, you know, of the organization, you know, these are different organizations, or just the NFL as a whole. I get that, but I also feel like you need to have some type of accountability as an organization, being at the NFL. If you did something wrong, you did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? And if he has the talent to play, he should be able to play. You can't tell me that out of all these backup quarterbacks, that's trash. You know, and I say that in the sense of I'm not saying I'm an all-star quarterback, ever been an all-star quarterback or anything like that. So yeah, you might be better than me, but when you matching up against these other quarterbacks that's in the league, and you saying that Kaepernick not better than these guys, You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy to me because, you know, he took the money. You know what I'm saying? And he shouldn't, you know, be in the league because he took the money. No, he took the money because at that particular time he was wrong. I deserve compensation for being wrong. You know, that don't mean that I'm not good enough to play in the league, but you did wrong to me. You know what I'm saying? So I should be able to get my compensation for what you did wrong, but I still should be able to work and do what I need to do at this job. But you still did me wrong.
And I told you one thing that I would have done if I was Kaepernick. Like if I got this in my head that I'm gonna be this martyr or stand up and for this cause or everything like that, I'm not opting out that deal.
Yeah.
I'm staying in that. I'm just keeping my contract and everything like that. So if you blackball me or do whatever, you're gonna have to pay me. I'm not gonna make it easy for you to kick me out of the league.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna opt in that deal, and then I'm gonna take my knee and everything like that.
Yeah.
So if you want to get rid of me, you still gotta pay me.
Still gotta pay me.
Still gotta pay me. You opted out and then took your stand, so now it's easy for them to get rid of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not positive about this, but if you don't have a contract, right? If you opted out and you don't have a contract,
Mm-hmm.
does the player association have to help you?
I mean, once you vested, I think after them the 4 years or whatever like that, I think so, because you still vested in the league now. You know what I'm saying? Like after 4 years, you get a retirement plan from the NFL. So I think you vested in the league after being in there 4 years, and I think he's been in the league more than 4 years at that point. So I mean, I believe so, but I mean,
you gotta hit them people where it hurt.
Yeah, I mean,
money and what they like.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think for some reason, whoever he had on his side, probably advised him wrong. You know, to bet on himself. You know what I'm saying? He get, you know, I'm still a good enough quarterback in the league. I'm a starter in the league. You can go somewhere else. Somebody gonna need some more help. I don't think he thought it was gonna backfire on him like it did.
But see, you have to be a student as well. Like you can't just be a, you know what I'm saying? Like I keep saying, a martyr or something like that. But you have to be a student. Look at Chris Jackson. You know, Mahmoud Rap. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Mahmoud.
Yeah. Look at him. Look at Craig Hodges.
Yeah.
Every time you take a stand like that, that's what comes behind it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna pay me to do me like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
Until the rest of the guys get ready to stand up and we all rally together and do this thing. If I'm jumping out here by myself and I got an opportunity to get paid before I do this, you're gonna pay me.
Yeah. I mean, like I said,
I'm sorry, you're gonna pay me.
And I agree with you. Like I said, when we talked about it, I was like, okay, you got a point. You know, I think he had bad advice, bad people in this corner telling him certain situations, and that's what happened with that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just briefly talking about that situation, because that's what kind of segued us into the whole boycott the NFL and how we thought it can happen, and how we was going back and forth about would it work, how would it work, would it actually happen. I'm saying, to be honest with you, that shit ain't gonna happen.
And then, you know what? I mean, wait, we had time. We talk about another subject about the NFL that I had a conversation with around this same time is when Eric Dickerson came out with that with that retirement plan or whatever for the old players.
Right.
It was a great idea. These guys do need to be taken care of and everything like that. But it was not prepared properly. It was not planned out properly. So when they poked holes at it, so basically he went and got signatures from Shannon Sharp, Jerry Rice, Kurt Warner, and a list of other players that agreed with what he was saying. Everybody agreed with this paper.
Mm-hmm.
But when he came and sat at the table with the NFL, he was not prepared, and they poked holes into his thing, and he didn't have a rebuttal.
Right.
So just say he was like, yeah, everybody should get $3 million. Well, why $3 million? Why did you pick $3 million? Well, I just felt that was a good enough. That's not good enough.
Yeah, it's not good enough. Yeah.
You have to come, like you didn't get lawyers and stuff to proofread this. You were supposed to take that to them people and get them to proofread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was a great idea, but you have to come with it with them people, man.
Yeah. Especially with that money.
When he didn't have all his ducks in a row, now Shannon and all them guys was like, whoa, I didn't know you was just going to do it. Like, for real, go look at it. They like, whoa, I didn't know you was just going to. And he like, man, y'all bagging out on me. No, you were not prepared.
You weren't prepared, yeah.
You fight. Look at the machine that you fight. Keep calling the NFL a machine. Look what you fighting, bro.
Yeah.
You better come with it.
You got to, because they gonna, like you said, they gonna poke holes in it.
Yeah,
They gonna
fight.
yeah, they gonna be like, so why? You know, what's this about? Where you get that number from? So how we supposed to get to that? You know what I'm saying? So if you can't back up every statement that they come at you, because you got to be prepared that they gonna come at you. Because they're not gonna just be like, oh, $3 million. You know what? That sounds good. You know, they be like, what the fuck? Nah. So you got to be prepared. You know, and that's the thing though. With us, not all of us. I'm not gonna put us all in that box, but we do shit in a way where we just lazy about it. You know, so we want a good product. We want to do shit. We want the money. We want, you know, but we're not willing to put forth a good product. We're not willing to put the work in to get that product the way it's supposed to be. We just look at it like, oh man, we gonna be millionaires. We gonna do this and this and this. But man, that take work. You know what I'm saying?
And like I say, you gotta be together with it.
Yeah.
Y'all. He could have went, and look how many people could have benefited if he went to some black lawyers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, y'all, once we get the deal, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make sure y'all straight. So now these black lawyers eating after helping him and them get this situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you
know
said, he dropped the ball.
Yeah.
He dropped the
like
ball.
I said, and you ain't heard about him with it since.
Nope, not at all.
You ain't heard about it since.
Not at all.
And that's sad because them older guys do need some aid and assistance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They do need some aid and assistance, man. So you know what I'm saying? That's messed up that went like that, man.
Yeah.
So look, hey, so I got a question. Just kind of segue into another segment. Somebody told me, we was talking the other day, my buddy told me, basketball is the only sport that you're judged, like the greats are judged solely off championships. You can be a great in another sport and not have a championship, except a quarterback.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only, because there's a lot of people in baseball that didn't win a ring.
Yeah.
But they're greats. There's a lot of people in football that didn't win a ring, but they're greats.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But in football, quarterbacks have to win a ring
That's one
to be considered goats and great.
Right.
And that's why Dan Marino was left off, Warren Moon, those guys, they were great.
Oh yeah.
But they didn't win like the Bradys and the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You would look at, some people look at Troy Aikman before they look at Marino.
Yeah. Marino's way better.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So why is that? Why do you think that basketball is the only sport really that you are judged solely off your rings?
Maybe the number of players on the team. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, you got to look at like a baseball team. I'm not going to sit here and say I watch baseball like that, so I can't tell you the amount of players that's on the roster, but I want to say it's more than 15 players on the roster. The same thing with football, with 57, you know, on the roster. So I think because it's so many players and it's so, you know, I think that's why basketball is probably like that. You know, it's kind of like a short number of people, small number of people on each team. So you judge by, you know, that. That's one thing I can think of, you know, of why it's like that, you know, when it comes to other things.
Somebody told me they think it's because in basketball you play both offense and defense. So you get more control. But in baseball you play both offense and defense.
Yeah, you do. You do.
I believe in hockey you play both, right?
No, not necessarily. You got offensive and defensive players that's on the ice at the same time. I mean, of course, the defensive can still score. You know, they're in a position to score, but you have a defensive line and an offensive line in hockey. So yeah.
So do you think it's fair that basketball players are like greats are judged solely off championships?
I don't think it's fair because I can name a few greats that I feel that are great and win championships. One on top of my head is Charles Barkley. I think he was a great power forward in the league. You know what I'm saying? He didn't win a ring. You know, I can think of like a point guard that most people probably wouldn't think that I would say, but a Mark Price. He's one of the great point guards. You know, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So he didn't win the ring. So I don't necessarily agree with that because I feel like you can still be a great player and put up great stats, you know, and just be a great player regardless. Even if we don't even look at the stats like that per se, like great bad me don't mean like you got to put up 30 points a game. You know, but as a point guard, I consider you a great point guard if you are
run your offense. You know what I'm saying? You are the floor general of your offense. And you night in and night out, you just tough. You know what I'm saying? You making sure everybody in position, you get your assists, I say for me, a great point guard, here's the numbers I'm looking at for a great point guard. 15 to 20 points. I'm gonna say between 7 and 8 assists a game, maybe 1 or 2 steals, 3-4 rebounds. And that's your average. In what era? In any era?
Any era.
Because now you got more of a scoring point guard now.
Right. But to me, I mean, I still say even in this era, 15 to 20 points a game, 7 to 8 assists, 1 or 2 steals, 3 to 4 rebounds. And that's consistent average.
Oh, let me ask you this. Which do you think is more important, or if you're judging a player, the eye test or stats?
I'm gonna say the eye test because stats, it's a lot of stuff that goes on in the game that won't come up on the stat sheet. You know what I'm saying? And you hear it even in the commentation when we're watching the game. You know, certain things that happen. Like, say for instance, let's just throw a player out there like a Draymond Green. Draymond Green got let's say hockey assist. You know, if anybody watch hockey, you know what I'm saying? Let's say hockey assist. Draymond Green has plenty of hockey assists, where the fact that something even happened is because he drove in, made a pass, another pass happened. You know what I'm saying? He opened up certain things by just being doing what he do on the court. You know what I'm saying? Him playing solid defense or being in the right spot and telling somebody to move over here, that's not on the stat sheet. But he's impacting the game, whereas can't nobody take a notch and say, oh, he did that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of great players who impact the games, like a Dennis Rodman. Yeah, he had a shitload of rebounds.
Yeah, I was going to say, though, but Dennis got them years where he averaged 18, 17 rebounds. So, I mean, that's still considered the stat sheet.
This is considered the stat sheet, but when you look at how, not just the rebounds, let's look at how he impacted the game defensively just in general. You know what I'm saying? How many times he agitated the player to the point where they completely out the game. That's not on the stat sheet, though.
But see, like, and I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got players that catch, you know what I'm saying, that catch hell like Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
I'm a big Jimmy Butler fan.
I'm glad you brought him up too. Go ahead.
A lot of people don't really recognize his impact.
They don't.
You know what I'm saying? Everywhere he go, he change go. Yeah, he's an asshole. Don't get me wrong. He's an asshole. He's a jerk. Whatever. But on that court and then the culture and everything like that, that man left the Bulls. We just not getting back to the playoffs. Now, I get it. Rose was a part of, left whatever too.
Mm-hmm. I
get Rondo played a good year, good season that year, whatever too. But Jimmy Lee, we don't get to the playoffs till now.
Mm-hmm.
He go to Minnesota, who ain't been to the playoffs since Garnett.
Mm-hmm.
So they had Kevin Love and all, never get to the playoffs. Jimmy get them to the playoffs.
Right.
They ain't been that back until now, since he left.
Right.
He go to Philly. You do realize he was like the reason Philly took Toronto to 7. Because if you look at that series, remember Joel Embiid had some stomach issues and missing games and all that.
Yeah.
Jimmy was, and look what he did in Miami. What he doing in Miami? Went to the chip already and got a good chance to go back again.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy, but people, you know what I'm saying, don't give Jimmy his credit. And that's one of the things that when you got to look at, the stats don't tell his story.
Mm-hmm.
But people act like they can't see the eye test either until this thing that they call a playoff Jimmy.
But he doing it though. Like he doing it regardless though. That's the thing. I'm glad you brought it up because I did want to touch on Jimmy. Because I'm like, man, all he do is ball, bro. That's all he do. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, he left for Chicago, which was a dumb move for Chicago because he didn't want to leave. You build around a player like that. You don't let him go. You know, and I mean, I'm not saying Levine ain't a good player. He ain't no Jimmy though.
Oh, yeah.
He ain't Jimmy.
DeRozan ain't Jimmy.
DeRozan ain't Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that they not good players, but this dude been consistently putting up 20. You know what I'm saying? And I can't give you his whole stat sheet, but impeccable numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Without just.
But they not hardening them numbers. So that's why Jimmy get overlooked for that type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
But his impact on the team, though. You know what I'm saying?
On both ends.
Yes, on both ends. If you watch a game, that's all you gotta do. Watch a game, and you will see the impact that he give. This is unmatched. You know what I'm saying? It's unmatched, and he bring that energy. The thing is, the reason why he an asshole is because I'm forcing you to bring the same type of energy that I bring. And not just forcing you, I'm demanding it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm an asshole because if I come on here and say, look, B, we got to do this. This the way it got to be. You know what I'm saying? Hey, to the viewers, I might be an asshole.
But if you start seeing production and you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And that's what he is. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, it's crazy that you even brought that up because that's one of the things I want to talk about because, like, the playoffs, when you look at this dude and his impact on the game, the scoring, the rebounds, the steals, the hustle.
He blocking shots.
Yeah, he blocking shots, dude. It's like, come on, man. He one of the players in the league that he can literally go home at night and be fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
Because he not thinking about, I got to score 30 points on defense. I got to chill out. You know what I'm saying? I got to, he ain't thinking about that shit. He coming out the fucking hoop. And you gotta respect a player like that. You know what I'm saying?
And if you don't respect him, he gonna take your lunch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He gonna take your lunch. So you better respect him.
Yeah. You know what about Jimmy is that he came in the league an underdog and he's always carried that.
Yeah. But he came in life. Because remember they say he was homeless and he had to get adopted by another family. He was only a 2-star recruit. He had to go to junior college.
Yeah.
And then Marquette was one of the only majors that offered him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he had to start, he played 4 years in Marquette.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't one of these, and that's the thing. And when he got to the Bulls, remember he had to bet on himself.
Yeah.
Remember the Bulls wanted to lowball him? And he told, no, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wait. Don't extend me to after this year.
Right.
And he bet on himself.
Yeah. And that's just the type of player that he is.
Yeah, so you can't do nothing but respect the guy.
Can't even respect that. Got to, bro. You know what I'm saying? Love Jimmy again. I hate that the Bulls let him go.
So who you got them in Boston?
Man, I'm not picking not picking nobody else, dude.
I said the same thing. I just sit back with my goobers.
Yeah.
And just eat.
Yeah,
just eat my goobers and watch the game.
I'm not picking everybody I picked the fucking lost.
Yeah, and I had the Bucks, man. So they gone. So
yeah.
I got some other players that's left that I like.
Yeah, me too.
But you know what I'm saying, that I root for, but I ain't gonna just jump team to team because I had the Bucks winning it all. They gone. So like in Boston, I love Jaylen Brown. With Miami, I love Jimmy. Mm-hmm. With Dallas, I love Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson, yeah.
And I ain't really got nobody on Golden State like that. But so you know what I'm saying. So with the 4 teams left, man, I got 3 players. So I can't really sit back and you know what I'm saying, pick another team. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna mind if Golden State win because now we gotta start looking at KD sideways.
I knew he was gonna say
now
that.
We gotta start looking at him sideways and them people win. You heard Barkley the other day.
No, what'd he say?
Barkley said that KD hasn't done nothing without Golden State. You ain't see that? No, not Barkley. Shaq.
Shaq said.
Shaq said. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, Shaq said. Shaq said without Golden State, he said we gotta start looking at KD now.
I mean, but you had said that already.
Yeah.
You said that before.
Yeah.
I mean,
before Shaq said it, I've been saying it.
Were we just talking about it, or did we have that on tape?
I don't.
Just talking about
that might have been us just talking about it. But everybody that I discussed that with, I say that.
You said it. Yeah.
And so now, if Golden State win this thing, and all they did was plug in Wiggins in your spot, or really the third guy, probably Poole or somebody.
Yeah.
So like I keep telling people, if you plug in Paul George instead of KD, they win.
They still win the championship.
If you plug, you know what I'm saying, somebody that can. If you put Freak over there, that shit is unfair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so what he did, see, he heard footsteps, bro. Like, he didn't want to be one of them ones that they talked about as the greats without a ring.
Without a ring, yeah.
So he panicked, like, shit, I gotta give me a ring.
I mean, but I say this, and I'm not trying to like keep up to KD, but in a basketball standpoint, he made the right decision. It was, and yeah, he went to a team that was pretty much a superstar team already, had everything in place. But from a basketball sense, he made a good decision for himself. I'm not saying that legacy-wise it's gonna look good for him, but basketball sense for him, the style of play, and like you said this too. He put himself around pieces where it was easy for him to operate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If it's just like say you superstar player and I'm trash, you know what I'm saying? And so every night they double team you because you know if you pass me the ball, ain't shit gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So now you like, fuck man, I can't win like this. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be like, shit, I need to put myself in a better situation. You know, if the organization not gonna put me in a better situation, I gotta put myself in a better situation so I can win. So I mean, I get why he did what he did, but yeah, it does cause him to question his legacy.
Only thing helps him 20 years down the line. We know what happened, or we know, but the average fan is not gonna know. Only thing gonna know is he got 2 chips and 2 finals MVPs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they not gonna know until they dig into it, they're not gonna really know everything surrounding it.
But that still goes back to the whole thing with the eye test and the stats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The eye test gonna be like, if you really go back and look at it, the eye test gonna tell you he just put himself in a good situation. But the stats and the accolades gonna tell you he a champion. And
if Steph and them win this year, Steph goes above him on the all-time list.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right?
I mean, I can't
That'd
argue
be
that.
4 chips,
Yeah.
2 MVPs, one of them anonymous MVP,
Yeah.
anonymous MVP, be 4 chips. You know what I'm saying? I say 2 MVP, and I beat you when we went head to head.
Yeah. Ain't no argument with me on that shit.
You know, what do you think? So if you him, do you trust that you can win with Kyrie? Or do you let the organization do what they want to do? Because I think if he get them the okay, the organization will make that move.
If it was me, I wouldn't trust winning with Kyrie. And I think Kyrie is an unbelievable talent, man. He really is an unbelievable talent. But you can't trust him though, bro. Yeah, fucking head case. You don't trust him. And it's sad to say that because like, especially a player that supposed to came under the tutelage of Kobe Bryant, you know, somebody who was just night in and night out, you know he's gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Hurt, injured, whatever the case may be, you know, came up and hit 2 free throws or torn Achilles, you know what I'm saying? If you come up under that tutelage, and that's supposed to be the person that you know, your mentor or whatever, for you to be that type of player was you just can't be counted on. Like with all that talent, you know, if I'm KD, I'm like, man, look, he kind of, it's like he put himself in even a worse situation that he was in with the Russell Westbrook situation. You know what I'm saying? Where,
but at least you know you're going. Then you was at least I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, I mean,
like
yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna be here. I don't know what you're gonna do. Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And if you look at him, besides that shot, he ain't done nothing.
Yeah.
Besides hitting the shot, which was a big shot, one of the biggest shots in finals history. You know what I'm saying? That was a great playoff run. He did come back. You know, help Rod come back from 3-1.
Yeah.
He was great in the games or whatever. But other than that, he's done nothing in his career.
Yeah. I mean, he had good nights when he showed what he could do.
Yeah, but I'm saying as a whole, that you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's true.
So what do you think about Patrick Beverly doing all this?
First of all,
junk?
please, he need to get out there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he need to get out there. I mean, we've been doing this for a while. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this for a while, and if anybody can see, we know how to articulate. We know how to. Dude, this dude up there stuttering, can't get work. I tried it, I had to turn it off. I was like, this dude can't even talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why do they keep putting this dude on? You know, I can't even I can't even get past what he is trying to say because he can't even get the shit out good enough. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I hate to say it, but that's what I get from it. You know what I'm saying? And I did want to touch on something else, but that's what I say when I look at that situation with the Pat Bev, like a tremendous competitor on the basketball court. You know what I'm saying? He another player who kind of came from, had to scrape his way in the league, and he's been scrappy ever since. So as a basketball player, I have nothing but the utmost respect for him. But when you get on camera, bro, somebody need to talk to you. You need to sit down and talk to somebody, had to get, better speech lessons, or, bro, it just don't look right for him.
And I criticize Chris Paul a lot. You know what I'm saying? I criticize Chris Paul a lot. But bro, you kinda, I don't know if you really can sit there and criticize him.
No, you can't criticize Chris Paul.
And he talk about Chris Paul's defense and everything like that again. I criticize Chris Paul. But it's the thing. They've hyped Patrick Beverly up to think he's a better defender than he really is.
He's just an energy player.
And see what it is these guys don't play defense like that in the league today, so anybody that's giving forth effort on defense is considered a great defender.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you go look at it, Pat Bev be getting cooked out there on the defensive end.
But you know what? I'm going to say this about that. One thing I will say about him, I'm not saying he's the greatest defensive player in the world. He's not. But he is a good defensive player because he does put forth the effort. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, because I think that's what defense is about anyway.
Effort.
Defense is about effort, and he does put forth that effort. So I can't say nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, yeah, you can't criticize Chris Paul.
And I criticize the hell out of Chris Paul because Chris Paul got some moments, man. And see, that's why I was asking people the other day, like everybody, he deserved a championship. He did. Why?
Yeah.
Why he deserve it and others don't deserve it? Like
right.
Because he's been put in moments where he didn't perform.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, how does he just deserve it and he didn't perform in some of these moments?
But it's crazy though, because like I wasn't saying that he deserved a championship. I just wanted him to have it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, when it's come to such situations like that, you don't deserve shit. You got to earn it. If you got to play good enough to get it. Ain't nobody about to hand you shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, you've been in the league 17 years. You know what? I'm going to give you this complimentary fucking trophy. No, fuck that.
How did he just hit that wall?
I don't, you know what? I don't even think it was that. I hate that. I hate people like, man, as soon as he turned 37, it just magically, I just think that he was fucking tired. That's what I mean. I guarantee he come back next year. He
always something though.
Yeah, it is always something. It is always something. It is.
Like injury, like it's just always something, right?
But he's 37 though, bro. He's 37.
But when he was 27, it was happening.
I mean,
yeah. If that wasn't happening earlier, then I would just ride with it. He's 37.
But you know what he'll look at though, man. You in the league with a bunch of trees and you going down there doing it. I mean, I think it just take a toll on you.
So where did his IQ go? Because he started turning the ball over and everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
know what I'm saying? This is the point guard that they call him.
Yeah.
So where did his IQ go? Like how all of a sudden when it's crunch time, now you turning the ball over, you don't like.
I just think it was tire fatigue. I can't say 100%. But for me, looking at it, I just think it was just fatigue.
What happened to Devin Booker?
That I don't know. Because I was thinking to myself, like, he the one going to have to step up. You know what I'm saying? He going to have to carry this. Not Chris Paul. He the one going to have to step up and carry this team. And now, for the life of me, what happened, I was like, oh my God.
Them people, did you see they was losing by 40?
Man, they was getting toe off, bro. And you know why I was still holding hope? Like, it was like, man, they got time to get back. And then I was like, at a certain point, I was like,
I turned it on at halftime. They was down 30. They was down 57-27. They had 27 points, and Luka had 27 by himself.
Yeah.
So, like, and then there's another one. Remember I kept saying I'm not paying Ayton?
Yeah.
I'm not paying him no $200 million.
They talking about it, and I keep hearing about the Bulls with Ayton too for some reason.
He's a good player, and I'm not saying he don't get paid. Pay the man, I'm not giving him no max deal.
Somebody gonna give it to him though. If it ain't the Suns, somebody gonna give it to him.
What do you think a good fit for him?
I don't know, dude.
I like
I'm not.
Like Portland?
But I like Nurkic over there still. I
He
like
don't-
Nurkic.
He's not gonna get you there. Cause think about it, they got Dame, then the young boy Anthony Simmons is developing. They got Ingles,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying. Maybe put Aiden over there.
I mean, he could. Well, I mean, personally, other than Nurkic getting hurt, I like Nurkic's game.
Yeah, me too. I like.
I like his Nurkic game, but
And see,
I don't know.
I think Phoenix, if you do trade him, like sign and trade him or something like that,
Mhm.
they need another scorer, bro. Devin Booker are really the only scorer over there.
yeah, something gonna have to happen.
You know what I'm saying? He really don't. Bridges is a defender. Crowder a defender. Aiden was like 17-10 on the year. Chris Paul was like 14, but he on the decline due to age and stuff like that. So they need another scorer.
Yeah, I mean, it's something they have to think about in free agency or try to get something in the draft or something like that because it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough.
What about? I was thinking about possible moves. What about sending Aiden to Toronto for Seattle?
That'll work for fucking Phoenix. That'll definitely work for Phoenix. Yeah, that'll definitely work for Phoenix. I mean, I don't know how that felt for Toronto, but
Because I know that, like you said, they're talking about the Bulls. What are they talking about giving them like Vucevic and?
yeah, I didn't really read too much.
If I'm Phoenix, I need
Aiden.
another scorer.
Yeah, I don't want Aiden on the Bulls. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
What do you do in Utah? You know, they want to break that up.
I mean, if I'm Utah, I gotta keep Donovan.
Rudy gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta keep Donovan. But Donovan probably gonna leave. Especially like they keep getting to the playoffs, but ain't shit happening. He gonna probably want to change the scenery too, a bigger market. You know what I'm saying? So I can see Donovan leaving, but if I'm Utah, I'm trying to keep him.
So it's gonna be a lot of stuff get shook up in this offseason, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like the NBA is leveling out.
Yeah.
Ain't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it is. It really is because like these low market teams that we talking about. I think in the age of social media and everything, like there's no such thing as a low market team like that.
Yeah, because you
know
get
what I'm
exposure.
saying? You get exposure regardless of where you at.
These are one of the first few years where we don't know who gonna win.
Yeah, that's true. But it's good for the league.
Yeah.
It's good for the league.
Well, yeah, when you coming in already, because at the beginning of the year, when you start. Yeah, so, it's the first year in a long time we don't know who gonna win. Because starting the season off, you had Brooklyn and the Lakers.
Yeah.
That's what most people thought. I still had Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
I had Milwaukee.
I said
You know
Phoenix.
what I'm saying? I had Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But shit, all Phoenix gone, Lakers gone, Brooklyn gone, Bucks gone. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. You know, I think the Warriors kind of started out hot, so some people had the Warriors. Nobody had Miami. Remember Miami crept on later.
Yeah.
Remember Boston? They was talking about trading Tatum or Brown. Remember they talking about breaking them up? And they came along. So, man, this is good for the game, man.
Oh hell yeah.
This is good. This is good for the game, bro.
It's real good for the game. Like I said, I don't even want to make a pick. I got in my head who I would love to see win, but I'm not gonna say it.
If I had my choice, I want to see Miami win. I want to see Jimmy win.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna say it.
You know what I'm saying? That'd be my choice. I'm not saying that he gonna win. I'm not. But if I had a choice, it'd be Jimmy. But like I say, all the teams that's left, I don't really. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't hurt me to see none of them win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't hurt me to see none of them win.
I think it'd be a good story regardless. If Dallas was to win,
Oh yeah.
it'd be a good story.
It's a story behind all of them.
Yeah, it'd be a good story behind either one of them will win.
Because if, like you said, if Dallas win, man, Luka Magic, or he beat the, beat Phoenix, and then he beat, you know what I'm saying, whatever.
Right.
if Golden State win, like I mentioned the KD stuff, and just Steph and them being back on,
coming
you know what I'm
back,
saying,
yeah.
come back on top, and they'll probably be considered a dynasty, right?
Oh yeah.
That's a dynasty, right? And then Miami win. It's all about Jimmy now. You know what I'm saying? Doing
the
that.
culture of the game,
Right.
how they play the game, and all that back in Miami. Bring one back to Miami, yeah.
And if Boston win, Tatum coming into superstardom and the way they turned the season around and everything like that.
It'd be a good story.
It's a story. Any team, any one of them win, it's a story.
Yeah, it sure would be. Yeah.
So man, we gonna keep this thing going, man, and we gonna keep coming back to you and keep updating you on this NFL, NBA. College, because now that we got this Nick Saban and this other stuff going on with this college, man, it's a lot to talk about. And but you know one thing, real quick, I spent a couple years really looking at this stuff, and I got to get back into it. I got to get back into this WNBA.
Yeah.
I used to go to the games when we had Deladon and everything like that. I got to get back.
Yeah. See, the crazy things I have been talking to you about when we first started this, that we need to get into this women's game. You know what I'm saying? It's the college game, WNBA, we got to get into this women's game, dude. It's like, I think we selling them short. Yeah. You know, like they like second-class athletes when, for the most part, I'm going to keep it real, most of them whoop our ass on the court, you know what I'm saying, any day of the week. We really got to get these women, they just do. You know, so we really got to start shouting out these games, watching these games, and start bringing light to them, too. Be it WNBA and a college game. We got to, because they coming from top level colleges, you know what I'm saying? So we got to start getting and talk about these women, man, for real.
So WNBA, we ain't leaving y'all out, man. We gonna cover y'all as well.
Yeah, we had to admit we dropped the ball, because like I said, we talked about it. Yeah. We just started talking about other stuff, but we dropped the ball. We're gonna have to pick it back up.
You definitely brought that up, and we gotta tackle that a little more. So hey man, we know this stuff, so we gonna get into that too.
Yeah. So one last thing I'm gonna say, and we're gonna get up out of here, is I was looking at something, they was talking about the media and like athletes, and then I think Shaq was talking about, you know, like different athletes having these podcasts and they hold more weight, you know what I'm saying, because they, you know, did the thing. But I look at it like this. It's our opinion. You know what I'm saying? Are we sitting up here saying that one-on-one we can run a route better than this receiver? No. Are we sitting here saying that, you know, this we can go one-on-one with the top power forward or point guard in the league? No. But because we watch the games and we see what's going on, we giving our opinion on what we see based off of your competition. Not based off of what we can do to you, you know what I'm saying, but off of your competition. And it's just our opinion on it. You know, that's all we do. We give our opinion on what we see.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
But you can't, and man, it's funny, man. One of the homies, he know who he is. He played basketball at a high level, you know what I'm saying? Very good high school player, and ended up, you know, a very good college player for the time that he played college ball. You know who he is. We've been going back and forth, so he tried to pull that card on.
Right.
I played, and I told him the other day, the GOAT, I got him hanging on my wall, Michael Jordan. It's horrible finding talent over there in Charlotte. Look how many times he missed out in the draft.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the GOAT. So just because you played don't mean it. Magic Johnson told y'all that Lonzo Ball was transcendent.
Yeah.
At his position.
Right.
Magic is a point guard, and he told y'all this point guard is transcendent. Won't be one of the best or whatever. He missed. He's good, he's solid, but he's not transcendent. So just because you played the game at that high level, yeah, you know some things we don't know. You know X's and O's we don't know. But that don't mean you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That we don't know nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm coming with it. We coming with it.
Yeah, we're gonna come with it.
We coming with it. We knowledgeable with this stuff, man. We know what we talking about. Like I said, we're gonna bring the business.
Absolutely. Every episode we're gonna bring the business in. Hey, whoever don't like it,
that's
don't watch.
No, I want you to watch. Hey, I want you to comment, challenge me.
I mean, yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's even better.
That's even better.
Get in the comments, challenge us.
Challenge us. You know what I'm saying? You got something to say, you want to challenge what we saying, you say we ain't knowledgeable, you know more than us. All right, put it in the comments, we talk about it.
Yep. Hey, absolutely. And if you want them athletes or whatever, Come on, sit at the table.
Come sit down with us. You know more than us, come sit down with us. We can chop it up.
Yeah.
Go back and forth. It is what it is.
Come sit at the table.
Ain't
We ain't ducking no smoke.
None whatsoever. But yeah, man, it's another episode, man. Hey.
Show.
Hey,
Show.
We up out of this joint, man. Thanks for watching, man.
Bringing the business.
The business, motherfucker.
Man, I just got to talking to me.